Just like everyone else, the Beatles are already one of my favorite bands of all time. I've listened to Abbey Road, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, Rubber Soul, and Revolver all the way through, as well as a bunch of like the bigger songs too. Let It Be, I Want to Hold Your Hand, Twist and Shout, a bunch like that, Penny Lane. There's so many, really. And since these videos are so much fun to make and they do really well, today I'm gonna listen to the Beatles, aka the White Album, for the first time. Now, a lot of people say this is their best album, although I say that about a lot of their ones. Mainly, I hear people say the White Album, Revolver, and Abbey Road. Those are the three big ones that I hear, and probably Sgt. Pepper's too, but like those are the big ones people say are the best. The songs I know here are, I think it's just Blackbird. I've heard a bit of Back in the USSR, but there are, how many songs here? There are 30 songs on this one. So that's, yeah, oh wow. Yeah, that's a lot more here. And then I've heard a little bit of Back in the USSR, because I think it's in the Paul McCartney Carpool Karaoke, which is just amazing. I know that While My Guitar Gently Weeps is supposed to be one of the best Beatles songs out there. And Blackbird is one of my favorite Beatles songs. It's one of everyone's. It's just such a peaceful, really nice song. I really like the meaning behind it too. And I'm going to read the editor's notes. As always, this one's actually shorter than most of them, so that's really good. Again, it's much shorter, so it didn't take me as long. And I've heard that, which one was it? That Helter Skelter is also one of the best Beatles songs, but it's a very like heavy kind of song like that. So that's really interesting. I mean, I love to hear that coming from the Beatles. And I am going to refer to this as a White Album. Everyone does. I know it's officially called the Beatles, but even in brackets here, I'll show you guys. There's a screenshot. It says in brackets the White Album because that's what everyone calls it. So we have 30 tracks here. I'm really excited. I mean, I go into a Beatles album expecting one of the best ever, and basically every single time I get that. I've loved every single one. I have videos for all of them linked down below and up here. But without further ado, I'll be back in about an hour and a half this time instead of like 30 minutes. And to the surprise of absolutely no one, this album was once again fantastic. I have a lot to say about it here. There's a lot of songs, so I'll try to go through them fast. I mean, we have 30 songs, and what I like to do, if this is your first video, I've done, as I said, 4 of these before. I go through every single track on the album and I share my very quick thoughts on them, some longer than others. Depends on the song, really, and we'll see here. But this album was fantastic. A little messy, but I feel like that's a fair complaint, because you go from these hard rockin' songs to like these slower songs, which are great most of the time. There's a few songs that I still liked, I just didn't love. I'll of course list them here, but overall, this is such a phenomenal album. Picking a best Beatles album is nearly impossible. It's just your favorite. This isn't my favorite, but it is definitely one of their best, and probably one. It will end up being one of my favorites of theirs. I feel like it's even going to grow on me more as I listen to it. I honestly don't fully know where I want to place it on my ranking here. I either like it a little bit more or a little bit less than Revolver, but then there's Sgt. Pepper, so it all goes in. I just need to listen to them all the time. But the Beatles are one of the best bands of all time. You call them the best, and I won't disagree with you, really. Like, you look at all these albums, they're all fantastic for a grade. I give this a 4.5 out of 5, but let's jump into the set list. So kicking it off, we had Back in the USSR, and I do a bit of this song, as I said before, from the Carpool Karaoke, and this is easily one of the best songs on the album. I think there's no question about that. Same goes for Dear Prudence, which I've never really heard of this one before, but it is really great. Glass Onion is really funny. It's just like, it talks kind of a little bit about Magical Mystery Tour, and I haven't listened to the album yet. Don't worry, I'll make a video on it, but there were some things in there that I found pretty funny. Oh Blah Dee, Oh Blah Da is obviously, as it started here, one of the most famous songs from the album, and easily one of the best. I can tell this song has inspired lots of musicians in the past. Well, Wild Honey Pie is just one of those where it's just like, why? Like, why are you here? But I don't know, it's funny. And then, of course, the Beatles seem to always have a kind of song like this. The continuing story of Bungalow Bill reminded me of Maxwell's Silver Hammer and Run for Your Life, which are my least favorite song on Rubber Soul and Abbey Road, which are currently my 2 favorite Beatles albums. But this one was like an improvement of those two. It's like the better version of them. Again, none of those are bad songs. They're just weaker than the rest of them, but those albums are some of the best of all time. So, While My Guitar Gently Weeps was, I mean, probably top 3. I know a lot of people have it as their favorite Beatles song, and it's easily one of mine. Same goes for Happiness Is a Warm Gun. This is another one that I knew nothing about. Went into it and I was like, damn, why have I never heard this song before? Martha, My Dear was very sweet. I'm So Tired was kind of, it was like relatable in a way. It kind of hit me a little bit. And then Blackbird is obviously one that I knew before. One of the most calming songs for me, like anytime like I feel stressed or like overwhelmed, I put on Blackbird and it's just like that. The guitar part is just flawless there and the vocals are phenomenal. Piggies is pretty fun. I think it's a George Harrison song or it might be Ringo. I can't remember exactly. Rocky Raccoon is fun. Don't Pass Me By is really great. One of the best on the album. Why Didn't We Do It in the Road was just one of those funny ones. Like, what's the song off of Revolver? I need to check. There's one song that has really funny lyrics and I forget which one it is. Go back. Okay, this song is Love You Too from Revolver. And when looking at Revolver, I'm like, okay, yeah, I do like Revolver more than this one. But again, this album is really fantastic. As I said, 4.5 out of 5 is really great. And it'll grow on me as it goes along. And then I Will is really good. And Julia, another top 3. Like, there's so many here on this album. Like, top 3, top 5 when I say that. That one probably, as I was going down here, was probably my favorite here. And then we get Birthday. And for those watching, send me this song on my birthday, November 9th. You send me this song, I'll love you forever. Your Blues, really, that was a really heartbreaking song. I'm pretty sure John wrote it, and it was during their trip to India, I think, where they wrote a bunch of these songs. But this one's just like very straight up. You know exactly what the song means, and it really hits hard. And Mother Nature's Son was amazing, really great. Again, like top 10 probably, and there's so many tracks in here. Like almost all the tracks are phenomenal. Everybody's Got Something to Hide Except Me and My Monkey. Just a phenomenal title. Sexy Sadie was one where as it was coming up, I was like, what is this song gonna be like? It played and surprisingly it was great. And then we get to my favorite song on the record, Helter Skelter, which is just like they tried to make the most rough and like dirty song they could. And maybe that's just because I love grunge and hard rock and metal and all that. Like especially grunge. This is kind of one of the things that I feel like inspired it in a way. And I'm pretty sure they listened to one of the Who's songs and they're like, okay, we're just gonna try this. It's my favorite song off this record and one of the best Beatles songs of all time. Long 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 was really good. Revolution 1 was, this is where the album got a little bit weird. This is like, it's where it kind of went down a little bit, not too much, but just a little bit, got a little more messy, I think. So they're all good songs. Honey Pie, Savoy Truffle, Cry Baby Cry, that one was interesting. Revolution 9 though was like, I was like, okay, like it's very inspirational, reminded me a lot of Pink Floyd. I feel like it very much inspired Pink Floyd, like again reminding me of Dark Side of the Moon a lot, and it was still very interesting, a very interesting song, but not one of my favorites from there, although Good Night was a very good song, very good way to end the album. I mean, the album is an hour and 33 minutes, so it is a little bit messy, but the band has also said it kind of made them come together more as a band, so that's nice to hear. And this does have some of my favorite Beatles songs. It's one that, as I said, I feel like it'll kind of improve even more while I listen to it again. Like, I feel like a bunch of the Beatles albums, like, they'll all just jump up to 5 stars, at least a lot of them. This one has got to be one of their best. Sure, it does get a little messy and jumbled at times, but when you have 30 tracks, you have to expect that the Beatles are one of, if not the greatest band of all time. This is easily one of their best albums. And what do you think of the White Album? What are your favorite songs from it? Do you agree Helter Skelter is the best song on the album like me? What are your favorites? While My Guitar Gently Weeps is right up there. Back in the USSR, Obla Di Obla Da, oh god, The Happiness is a Warm Gun, Blackbird, Julie, like there's just so many here, so much to choose from. Tell me all that in the comments down below and any fun stories, and thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Over and out.